RJ, can you help us? Just keep checking what is in the chat
बरं
because we all
ठीक
are
आहे
occupied with this. I'll also see. And
बरं
then in the end, in the question answer,
ठीक आहे मॅडम
we have time. Otherwise, Samir, we can save the chat and then we can respond to them later in the group. Samir has not done anything. Sandeep,
Yes, ma'am.
please save the chat. So some of the comments or questions, if we can't take due to lack of time, we can then put it in the TOT group
Yes, ma'am.
later. Hi, Geeta. Hi, Ram Bharat, Geeta.
Madam, good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, good evening.
Namaskar, madam.
गुड इव्हनिंग मॅडम
Namaste.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Good evening. Good evening, sir. Good evening,
Good
madam.
evening, Swati madam. Good
Hi,
evening, Geeta
Sushma. How are
ji.
you?
Good, ma'am. How are you?
I'm better now.
Looking good, ma'am. God
Yeah.
bless you.
I'm feeling healthy now. I'm
I
feeling
think-
healthy now.
Yeah.
Tomorrow also, madam, you have got a session tomorrow, no?
Yeah,
Again.
yeah. It's now pouring. So, and then again, I've got on 6th and 10th with Aacci. So,
And our ICP also.
yeah, that is on the 6th, no?
Hmm.
And 10th is the international webinar of coaching. Then I'm taking
Oh,
a
yes, correct. Huh.
then I'm taking a break. बहुत हो गया अभी. August I have other things to do.
आपने तो स्टार्ट किया तो मैम बिल्कुल चलता ही चला अभी.
I know, इसीलिए सबको बोला अभी बहुत हो गया.
Yeah, बहुत हो
6 and
गया.
10 के बाद nothing.
And madam, अपना counseling का भी session है.
Counseling का कब
AHA का.
है? I'm not there, no. I'm in
Yeah,
that
you are
deep
there, madam.
counseling.
You are there. You are
Oh, that is
there.
on 6th ना गीता स्वाति घाटे के साथ.
मेरा भी है उसके साथ.
वो 6 को
नहीं
है.
नहीं, वो ICP का अलग है.
अच्छा फिर और कौन सा है? I don't know the other one which you're
I
talking
will forward you that.
about. Okay.
You maybe I think for you that will be very stressful for because it is for a very long time.
Then I will leave it to you and they are not come.
No. Madam, sometime you have to join because with the intention yours, me, Swati and Swati will present the cases.
Okay, let's do one thing, Geeta. This week is busy. Next week I'll talk to you.
Okay.
We can go through it together, you, me, and Swati.
Hmm.
So welcome Smita, Rachna, Karuna, Uzma, Mayank.
I think we all have taken pre-test.
Good.
All of us.
Very good. Neha, Rachna, hi. That's being a real TOT faculty.
Yes. करना है तो सिंसियरली करना है ना.
Aacci is running only because of wonderful volunteers like you.
Thank you, ma'am.
सुषमा जी गुड इव्हनिंग
गुड इवनिंग सर. हाजी सर कैसे हैं?
बस आनंद है तुम्हारी आवाज सुना उम्र बढ़ गई
अरे सर सेम हियर. आपसे कोई सीखे किसी को खुश करना.
RG has become very flowery language, huh? RG?
हाँ बिल्कुल बिल्कुल.
RG, last time only I told you community it is there. Did you get your CV?
या श्योर मॅडम गॉट इट
Thank you.
So now Srishti, Nikita, Anushka, Samruddhi, welcome everybody. We have a very diverse group, as Samir put. We have pediatricians, counselors, mental health professionals. Very happy
डेमोक्रेटिक
to see the diverse group.
डेमोक्रेटिक फोर्स
Very interesting topic.
Yeah.
सुषमा जी कुछ खा रहे हो क्या आप नाश्ता कर
या
रही हैं
खाना
खाना
खाने बैठी हूँ
हाँ
सर.
कैसा मैंने डायग्नोसिस किया
Very
कर
good,
दिया
sir. Your clinical knowledge is very good, sir.
RG is getting better and better every year.
Yes.
सबको डायग्नोस करता मैं भी वेबिनार पे बैठता ना
Welcome, Dr. Singavellu, Vasudhara, Dr. Sunny.
Good evening, madam.
Hello, how are you?
Sorry. Sorry, I'm in the airport.
Oh. Reminds me of my younger days when I used to join from airports.
Always, if I now say we are doing, madam, on my way to Indur conference.
Achha.
I never miss any of your thing, madam. Whenever you are there, It is an opportunity to hear you.
I'm honored. Thank you.
We will not miss it. Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Hi, Neha. Welcome. We have a lot of Swatis now. Swati Vinchurkar, Swati Ghate, so many Swatis. Hello, Vasundhara. Hello, Mala.
Hello, Dr. Bhave. How are you?
Long time. Nice to see you joining.
A very long time. Yes, a very, very long time.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to all of you taking this forward into the community and
Yes.
reaching out to
Yes,
maximum parents. That is the reason we have kept this duty.
Yes. You're keeping good health now?
Yeah, I'm fine now.
That's nice. That's
Yeah.
great to hear.
Madam,
Geeta,
I got a talk about neurodiversity in Tamil Nadu,
Okay,
especially able adolescents and neurodiverse,
okay.
healthcare and beyond. So it will be very, very helpful for me, this TOT.
I share your PPT, I'll learn something.
Madam, you should change my PPT.
No,
It is
no.
arranged by one Dr. Shivraman, who is a
Okay.
neurodevelopmental
Yeah,
specialist.
send it. I'd like to go through.
Erode.
Okay.
I will share it.
Knowledge
you,
is to
sir.
be shared.
You want his number? I will send it. My good friend, Shivraman, he is dedicated person for
Yes, sir. Yes,
neurodevelopmental.
sir. It is a, are you coming, sir? 27th Erode?
No, madam. No, madam.
Where are you going, sir? Yours is a Bharat Brahman going on.
Good evening, Geeta Patil ma'am. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you so enthusiastic, sir? I just, at the end of OPD, I am so tired today.
you are looking tired, madam. Geeta Patil, madam.
At the end of the day, you can't look fresh, Sarji. I'm not like you.
सबके पास आपके जितनी एनर्जी नहीं है आरजी सर.
Arji sir, आप क्या करते हैं? You just give your secret, okay?
I am getting energy from Dr. Swati Bhave, madam.
Yeah.
हम भी ले
See,
रहे हैं
the real energetic person has come,
Yeah.
Sameer bhai. उनके
Sameer
जितना
bhai.
एनर्जेटिक कोई नहीं हो सकता.
ए, समीर
तत्र
इतना
तत्र सर्वत्र.
He's a DJ generator by himself.
Yes, he's a generator by himself. He's an energy
Good
reserve.
evening, madam.
Good
Good
evening.
evening, madam.
Good evening, Sameer bhai.
Good evening, good evening.
and multitasking at a time. So many calls he will
Good
take.
evening.
Yeah, और बिल्कुल
Good evening,
quietly,
everyone.
peacefully, patiently answer देते हैं, irritable भी नहीं होते.
Good evening, Samisha boy. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
समीर भाई एक वर्कशॉप ले लो आप सभी का इसके सब्जेक्ट के बारे में.
अरे
How to keep
AI
up
का
energy.
AI भी लेना चाहिए, AI सब कुछ लेना चाहिए, हमको टेक्नोलॉजी सिखाना चाहिए. And finances also, as you know.
Madam, can we start now?
Sure. Hi, Sunita. Let's start.
So, dear friends, very good evening. And once more, since 2021, what we are celebrating every year, our birthday of the Aacci, that is the 18th July every year, we are now celebrating as a Aacci week celebration that includes this our birthday of the Aacci. And today one more week celebration started from the today from 17th to 23rd of the July 2025 with a very innovative and novel topic, and that is very difficult to handle also. And for that, we are meeting today with this TOT to understand what the topic is and how we can disseminate the knowledge among the parents and the community. So for that purpose, I inviting our own Aacci Executive Director, Dr. Swati Bhave, Madam, to start with the welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Sameer. You can start the PPT. So as Executive
Yeah.
Director of Aacci, It's my pleasure to welcome you all for this TOT. Our chairman, Yashwant Bhave, is busy in another webinar giving a lecture, so he cannot attend, but he sends greetings to all the participants and best wishes for the program. So, can we have the first slide? Yeah. So, I welcome all of you to the beginning and the launch of Aacci Week Celebration 2025, which will go on till 23rd July. And the theme is Finding Stress in Acceptance, a journey of parenting neurodiverse children. And again, we all are very proud parents that our Aacci has become 18 years old. Tomorrow it will complete 18 years, so it will become an adult. Next. So we were registered in 2007 and launched in 2008. And all of you know Aacci stands for Association of Adolescent and Childcare in India. And we started with parents, teachers, children, and youth. And during the COVID, we added Aacci Forum of Grandparents. Next up. So I'm not going to go into the details because all these are on the website. But I just wanted to say that starting from 20 people in one Bombay city center, we have now progressed to 8 city centers, 4 regional centers, 1 international centers, and we have now 250 volunteers from 26 cities and 5 forums. And the credit goes to all the dedicated volunteers who have worked with us for the last 18 years. And since 2020, when Dr. Sami joined as a national coordinator, and Randeep and Prasant, they both joined with us. Aacci has really progressed by leap and bounds. And since these 3 young men who are very talented, dedicated, hardworking, my administrative burden is very less, and my job has become mentoring. So I would like to publicly acknowledge the work these 3 are putting in for the last 5 years. Next. So this was Sami's brainchild, that when we became 14 years old in 2021, to start our Aacci Week celebration every year in July. So the first year we had adolescent healthy lifestyle, and we have, like always, done that. I worked in WHO for some time in training, and there we have to form a standardized training module. So even if the faculty is different, the standardized message goes the same. And hence it's very important to have modules and TOTs. And every year we have various modules and we have TOTs. So in the second 2022, we had emotional well-being and anger management. Next. Then in 23, we had grandparenting as the theme. Next. And then in 24, we had decoding modern parenting. Next. And this year, as I've already discussed, we're having parenting neurodiverse children. Next. So we all know that we have to start this program by introducing the various issues for parenting. And this introduction is specially made for parents to understand the various issues which their child is undergoing with a positive strength-based approach. Now, all of us who have been in practice know that most parents who have children who are neurodevelopmentally challenged, or what medically may be called as neuroatypical children, are aware that their child is a little different from the other children, from the children of their families, neighbors, community. Sometimes teachers also call them and say that, please get your child assessed. We find that he's not the same as the other children. But a large number of parents hesitate to come immediately for assessment, or they come very late. And unfortunately, in my adolescent exclusive practice for the last 20 years, I'm still diagnosing neurodivergent children who were missed in childhood. And if you go through the history, the flag signs are all there. But the parents did not pay too much attention to this. Why does this happen? Because in society today, mental health is still a stigma. And though many celebrities are now talking openly about their depression, etc., neurodevelopment issues are still considered a psychiatric problem. And parents don't want their child to be labeled so early in a life, and they rather wait to things become better or things will go away, etc. So in this module, we are going to discuss how to make parents more acceptable to the diagnosis. As per Aacci TOT protocol, we insist on a pre and a post test, and the certificate and the lectures are only given to those who finish the pre and the post test. But we are making an exception this time because we really want to go into the community to support parents. So those of you who have not done the pre-test, I request you after the session, please fill the post test. So if you fill the post test, we will still share the certificate and give you the reading material. Now, let us understand what is the word neurodiversity. Neurodiversity is not a medical term, it's a socio cultural concept, which means there's a cognitive difference between how people think, learn, and behave. And generally, we use it in the context of autism spectrum disorder, ADHD, or learning disabilities. Now, we must tell parents just as biodiversity enriches our life, similarly, neurodiversity also is enriching human beings. And instead of looking these differences as weaknesses, if we start looking them as strength, then we go from a problem-based approach to a strength-based supportive approach. So every time we are going to emphasize this, and the faculty, Sandeep and Archana, also are going to base on these themes of going through this. Next. So neurodiversity means seeing neurodivergent conditions as natural variations of the human brain, but not as some illnesses or defeat. That means we don't have to fix something broken that needs to be fixed. And instead of trying to normalize these children, we should explain to the parents that since these children process things differently, since they perceive the world differently, we have to understand how they process the world, how they perceive, and since they are doing it differently, we have to understand it and help them to navigate through their different variations. And this reduces this mindset of being supportive, inclusive, and not trying to normalize them, but understanding that they are different, reduces shame and it promotes dignity. Next. So, what is a supportive mindset? Work through a strength based approach. Talk about what the child can do and not only what are the deficiencies or what the child will struggle to. And always avoid saying normal versus abnormal, and every brain works differently. And over the last 40 years, initially I had 20 years pediatric practice and now 20 years adolescent practice. Whenever I deal with specially challenged children, not just neurodiversity, in others, I always ask them, how have you dealt with your child? And I find that whatever tips we give them, every parent teaches us something new because they are far more devoted to the child than we can ever be. And we keep learning very nice approaches and tips, and that enriches us, and we can use the same tips to help other parents. So try to take learning from each parent and don't every time just be a guide or a teacher or telling them. Be accepting that those parents can also teach you a lot to help in the guidance. Next. So we have to use neuroaffective language. And those who are doing adolescent parenting, we know that we always tell parents, don't label the child, label the behavior. That means don't tell the child is irresponsible or child is rude. Say your behavior is irresponsible or the way you're talking is rude. So similarly, we have to think that there can be two ways of identifying this situation. Person first means child with autism. So we have to emphasize to the parents that you have a healthy, normal child, otherwise he's fine. But he has a problem of autism, or he has a problem of ADHD, or he has a problem of learning difficulty. Most people are starting saying autistic child, ADHD child, and that is labeling. So we have to learn to use the language that is neuroaffirming, person first and not identity first. But when they grow up as teens, we should not force what we should be calling them because we should empower them to choose what they want. And I have children who teens are proud to say, I'm autistic or I'm ADHD because they feel that they are empowered. So, as far as teens are concerned, let them decide how they want to be identified as a person first or an identity first. Next. So, you have to use these strength based words. So, instead of working on deficit, highlight their strengths. Like instead of saying he cannot talk, he cannot communicate, say he's very observant. He understands quite a lot, though he may not be able to talk. And avoid stereotypes by saying that all autistic and AD children are the same. Don't generalize like AD children are defiant, disruptive, autistic kids have no emotions. So don't give any labeling to them. Next. And language has power. The meaning may be the same, but how you say it makes a lot of difference. So when we say that, the mother says she's different, but love her the way she is, or he communicates in his own way, and now we are understanding the way he communicates, and he's quite good in communication. This makes the children and the families feel seen, valued, and included. These words create a safe space for children and family, and then the growth really starts. Next. So, to summarize, we must use words and attitudes that respect, empower, and include neurodivergent children. And we must always presume competence. Even if a child does not speak, behave, or communicate in a routine or a typical way, we must assume that they understand, feel, and think differently. For example, we can tell parents that a non speaking child may still be able to understand everything that is said about them. And very often, parents talk about the child in the presence of the child, and we have to explain to them that don't keep labeling the child and keep talking about the deficits of the child in front of the relatives, in front of people. And instead of saying he can't do that, ask him how can we help him to do it in a different way. And instead of focusing on the deficits, try to help the parents, motivate their parents to understand what does the child excel at. For example, he may have musical talents, he may have wonderful way of puzzles, he may remember details well. Identify the strengths and tell the parents ki let us find out these strengths which can be a gateway to help the child learn in a different way. And the children should have autonomy. So even if they have got neurodivergence, we can give them simple decision making process like what would they like to eat, what would they like to dress, and this makes them empowered. So don't make them feel that because they're neurodivergent children they can't make decisions, and as parents you have to continuously keep making decisions for self. These children can also become self sufficient. You can teach them self esteem, and you can teach them the power of decision making, whatever is within their concept. And respect all communication styles. There is nothing which is right or wrong, and we must listen with patience and without judgment. And the parents soon learn to understand gestures, devices, behaviors, where the child can communicate a lot, though he may not be able to express in the routine language as we look at. And tailor support to individual needs. Neurodivergent children don't all need the same. So don't label them. What works for one may not work for the other. And I said, this is where we learn from the parents. And then we can use these tips for other parents. And the best teachers are people, that means the children themselves and the parents who are living with these things. Many autistic teens and adults advocate powerfully for what respectful care and education looks like. And teenagers are very vocal about their neurodivergence and what they feel. And hence, we have to approach the shift from trying to fix the child and trying to normalize the child to become more understanding, supporting, and celebrating their variance. And neuro affirming language is just not words, but it's a mindset which is compassion, inclusion, and respect for these children and their families. Thank you very much.
Hello.
Yes, Samir.
Yeah. So it's a really a good start to understand what is the neurodiversity, and let's think how we can conceptualize this in our community-based program. Before we start with the how we can go for the community and the, what the presentation, let's understand what is the our concept behind this thing. It's a specific concept, not I just setting the my screen again, and we can understand how we can proceed further before we go understand the actual topic about. My screen is visible, right?
Yes, sir.
So let's begin the journey about the TOT with the theme of the finding the strength in the acceptance, a journey of the parenting of neurodiverse children. And this project is mainly about the awareness and capacity building of the parents with children having a neurodevelopmental challenge. And what the diversity is already Madam has said, and it's in collaboration with the LISTEN. So this is the our main targeted TOT about the topic, and that is already time tested by the few of the our topic related program in the association with the lesson. And lesson is a tech-enabled mental and emotional health startup that support the people and corporates in the fulfilling the mental health needs. And they having a team of the mental health, technology, and well professionals. And that's why we, as a platform, also we can help their take their help, gather the such type of the parents having a such a problem. So this is a one of the good one-to-one helpful gathering of the listen with the Aacci to get the mainly professionals in collaboration with the need people together come and they can discuss their own problems. So our aim of this TOT and this week celebration related with this neurodiversity that already Madam has said that it's a term that mainly refer to the describe to cognitive difference between the how people think, learn and behave. And that is the our thing that what related with the our autistic spectrum disorder, ADHD and learning disability, because they are neurologically diverse, not abnormal, and that empathy we should have before when we can go for any session. And we empower the parents also about the same thing that they are having a neurologically not abnormal children are there. They are something having such a problem that they really require to give them proper understanding, acceptance, and proactive coping so that they can be foster a positive family dynamic along with the supporting the children's optimum development. So our main aim and objective teach our parents that this is a something that what they definitely having a some challenging, but this is challenge will be really acceptable and not at all the moment of any guilt. So our objective of this movement is to support the emotional acceptance to the neurodevelopmental diagnosis by addressing a common reaction such as the guilt, denial, fear, and stigma. We have to foster a positive and hopeful outlook by helping the parents to recognize their children's strength and shift from the focusing of the normal to focusing on progress and potential development of that child. And this is what we want to learn from the parents, their own experience also, and with supporting movement of the our scientific database. And that's why we want to equip the parents with a different practicing coping strategies that include the self-care, co-parenting, emotional regulation, and assessing the community and professional support. We also want to promote a healthy family dynamic. That's very important when we are dealing with such type of the problem. And that include the improve the marital communication and support from the sibling along with creating the resilient and nurturing home environment. So our objective is not only to give the just teaching and advising, but it will be the respectful person to person identification of that person's requirement and empathically involvement of ourselves in the help of the parents. That is our main objectives and aims. We had already conducted a few programs with and then we are just launching this today's TOT with in collaboration of the Listen the pilot program was launched on the 6th of the April, and that was conducted by Dr. Swati Bhai Madam, Dr. Archana and Dr. Sandeep Kavade, and almost attended by the 12 such type of the parents. They really need this type of the help. At the same time, we also conducted a 11th May online program again with the Listen's collaboration and our speaker was Dr. Archana Kavade along with Dr. Sandeep Kavade, and that was attended by the parents of the 15 neurodiverse children. So we have to understand here that we don't get this large crowd of the parents here. We have really having a very small crowd, but really need our help, our emotional support, our scientific support, and of course the scientific measures what they will not diversify their target to the quacks and other people. They will ultimately lead to the trouble in the children. Our training volunteers that include our own Aacci volunteers along with the Listen volunteers and that will also consisting of the consultant and psychologist. Of course, with a few parents, they can become the peer educators for us to help our modules to run in a large way in community. Our participants will follow the pre and post-test session and assess the understanding of the module. This will help to assess the effectiveness of the module, along with help us ensure the uniform standardized module implementation and help to validate the future research based on this module. Standard lecture template along in the form of the PowerPoint, along with all the speakers note in detail. That will be the more detail given by the Sandeep and the Archana when they will present the PPT in actual. And this is already created and time tested by the Aacci and peer reviewed by the Aacci core committee. Our module is just not only the talk with the PowerPoint presentation, but it's also include the WHO life skill based approach along with the different module of the parenting participation. That include the brainstorming activity, group discussion, role play, VIPP cards, and hands out. And in this TOT, you can get the hands-on training on these things, how we can utilize this parent participation module in actual, as much as definitely we having a certain limitation of the online background. Again, we have to disclaimer when we are presenting this presentation that this module is for only and only educational and awareness purpose, aimed at the supporting the parents of the children with the neurodevelopmental challenges. It means for a non-commercial use in pre-community session and workshop. Images and content are used to enhance the learning and Aacci intended to no intended violence of any copyrights. Please do not take the photo or circulate the slide and avoid the using of this material for the commercial purpose. This is that what we have to disclaim when we are presenting online and anywhere, and at the same time when we are doing the in-person or offline projects. Listen team will really help in us in a great way because they have a large variety of the volunteers available at the different cities of the India, and they will help us to conduct this type of the program with a standard SOP that what we are going to follow, and with that we will having a one-to-one win-win situation of the listen along with the Aacci. We also going to plan some research-based project after this workshop, something successful, and that will be totally depends on the what will be the our planning and core committee decide. This is mainly related to the understanding status and of the target group and help in the planning of the interventional strategy. At the same time, we presented them in the conference in past, and same thing what we want to present in a systematic way. So that ultimately help us to make a good strategy and ultimately help the community effort. So in general, our protocol includes the we have to utilize this standard module that will be provided after the completion of your pre-test and post-test and attendance in the TOT. You can utilize this presentation during any program online or offline after taking a written permission by email to our own official email, that is aacci2019@gmail.com. Our presentation will be given to you is only read-only format, and volunteer has to utilize them as it is. There will be ultimately that will be spread the common message and avoid any controversies. Any suggestions in change are always welcome, and we will implement this in the presentation after the discussion with our core committee with due acknowledgement of the what will the suggestion came from. We customize them for the target population as and when required, and we also plan to the discussion with the people and survey through registration form. And support important thing is the reporting of your activity is very important after the completion of the program, what you can plan anyway in this. In today's TOT, we having a main core faculty along with the Dr. Swati Bhave madam, Dr. Sandeep Kavre, a pediatrician from the Pune, and of course the code hardcore our national parent forum in charge from the Pune. along with the Dr. Archana Kavade. She is a child neurodevelopmental consultant from the Pune and director of the Vatsalya Mother Care Bhosri Pune and director of the Manomi Children Developmental Center Bhosri. We having a young dynamic Dr. Prashant Karya also being one of the core faculty in today to give the more details about how we can include these different activities. And of course myself, our national coordinator Aacci, along with all these three. To today's agenda that include the introduction that already we had completed, concept not now you very well understand what the concept and how we are going to implement. Next, now 45 minutes, we having an understanding of the PPT presentation. Here, we are not going to discuss one-to-one PPT, how we have to present, but how to discuss, what to discuss, and what not to discuss, we are going to demonstrate. Along with the demonstration of this session, with a proper conduction methodology of the brainstorming activity, VIPP card, role play, and group discussion, how we can incorporate when we are discussing with the parent. And your query can be solved in last 10 minutes and concluding debate by Dr. Swati Bhave Madam after the completion of all this activity. So this is our in general program of today. Thank you all for being the wonderful champions of this courage and love. With this, I hand over the mic to our main presentation presenters, Dr. Sandeep Kavade and Archana Kavade. Thank you.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, yes.
Thank you very much, Swati Bhave ma'am, the Listen team, Dr. Samir Shah sir and Aacci for giving me this opportunity. So the collaboration with Listen happened, and with that we tried to find a way which we can actually help the parents of having children with neurodiverse children and having neurodevelopmental challenges. So in this journey, we reached to this stage today. The foundation for today's discussion has been laid down by Bhave ma'am and Samir sir. So what we are going to do today is, I'm not going to literally take each and every slide. What we want to is how to conduct. When you are going to be handed over the slides, I'll just show a few things. So there will be few slides where there will be just quotes. These quotes are not for discussion. These are slides in between where we can take certain activities. We can take certain discussion points to them. So these are like breaks in between where one-to-one communication can happen, because it is very tiring to just hear lectures for a long time. Second thing which we have done is, this core session can be modified from a 1 hour session where 45 minutes will be a lecture and one activity can be done. Or if there is time, we can even take this, stretch this to a 3 hour session where the lecture can be broken in 2 parts and multiple activities with the parents can be done. Here, we are going to give you a brief of how these activities can be conducted. I have Dr. Prashant Karya sir, Dr. Archana Kavade with me so that we can show you certain activities. So this would be one slide. In your slide set, there will be the actual slide. This will be the slide which will display for the parents. We have tried to keep less points because discussion must happen. We cannot have all content like we have in a medical conference. So these are just highlighting points. But for the newer people, because we also have volunteers who have just started. So there will be some psychologists, some people who are not that well versed. We have also given speaker notes. So here, what is expected gist of the slide has been displayed. This slide, when it is handed over, the presentation deck is handed to you, this would be hidden slide. But before the session, you can go through this so that you can get what point has been covered in this slide. So what we have to understand, this module is flexible from 1 hour to 3 hour. It not only gives you tools for these points which have to be discussed, but how to take them. And even depending on the parents you have in front of you. So sometimes in a session, it happens that autism parents are more. Some sessions, it may happen that ADHD parents are more. Some sessions may have a typical age group. So younger children or adolescents. So depending on that, the different activities which can be done can be tailored to that audience so that we get better participation and better change. The aim of these sessions, like for life skill, which you must have done with Bhave ma'am, is not really to teach anything, but to facilitate the change in mindset in the parents. Because when the parents feel that they have arrived at the conclusion, it is better, or it is more clear that they will follow them in real life instead of some notes or lecture or take home points which we give as professionals. So this is not just a regular lecture. Lot of material can be found on internet regarding the lecture. The more important part is how we connect with the parents and how that change in behavior can be facilitated. So this would be the first activity. So any session which we start, different kinds of activities can be done. Important is to break the ice, because when they are coming, already they are overwhelmed. Already they don't know what is going to be discussed. They are slightly hesitant. So we will be doing a few activities. Here we have shown an example which Prashant sir will be discussing in detail. Prashant sir, I hand over to you. We will do this activity first, and it will be very engaging and fun. Thank you. Prashant sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. So actually, as Dr. Sandeep has said, we will be doing this activity which is called as a VIP session, which is visualization in participatory programs. Now, as it is difficult to do this over here, we have found an alternative for that. I'll just post one link over here, and I'll request everybody just to...
Stop. Sir, I will stop the share. You can share your screen.
Yeah. Just to click on that link. Yeah, I'm just sharing the screen now, but then everybody should just click on the link which is visible, or alternatively, you can scan from your mobile the screen which is available. I hope the screen is visible.
Yes, visible.
And just please reconfirm that you are able to join it through the chat box link which is given. I'm giving a minute, and by that time I'm just explaining what is VIPP activity. See, VIP card activity is an activity in which the participants of the program are actually given a different color coded chit pads on which we ask some questions and they write down the answer of that. We give them some time. We ask them that the answer should be written in a bold letters, make it as crisp as possible, and if you want to have other than that answer, please use the other paper. Once the activity is done, the team, actually sometimes it happens that people are not writing, so the team along with you, they can encourage them to write down. They can collect the chits. Once the chits are collected, we divide the chits according to the different headings. I'll be telling you once you give the answers, and then we can discuss regarding that. So this type of activity will be a ice-breaking activity, and which it will be really helpful. Now, I think if you people have already scanned and joined, so we can just go to the screen which will be visible to your screen like this. The icebreaker activity is, what was your first emotion after the diagnosis? Very good. Somebody said fear, anger, shock. I request everybody, around 28 people have joined. So requesting them to write guilt, denial, numb, clarity. Good. Shy. See, there will be a different answers which you are seeing on your screens. Now, in this, we are actually having a total word cloud, but in real, this will be collected by a team, and that will be actually been categorized. The commonest things, somebody has written understanding, confusion, anxiety, then comes knowledge, threat. Good. So all these things, see, if sometimes they will write down the questions also, and sometimes they will write down the sentences also. I mean, word or sentences. The commonest of this is a shock or a disbelief, that I could not believe it. It happened to me. So we categorize it into a shock part or a disbelief part. Somebody will write, I cried. It's a feeling of sadness or a grief. Somebody say, I lost the child. All these things to be under a heading of a grief or a sadness. Then the third can be a guilt. Is it my fault? What did I do wrong? Was it the screen time? All these type of things can come to that, and that is a guilt or a self blame. So that can be there. Somebody has written resilience. That is also good. Many times you have an anger or a frustration. Why didn't the doctor diagnose it early? Why this happened to my child only? It is totally unfair. So that can be categorized under a heading of anger. Sometimes there is no response at all. They may not write anything. They may just write a blank silence thing. That is also one of the response which can be there. And few will actually say, finally, I do have some diagnosis. Somebody diagnosed it. So that is a feeling of a relief or acceptance. Somebody said understanding the diagnosis. So all these things, when it comes, we just divide it into different things. And then the most important thing is, most importantly, we need to give them a support. As already been said, they are differently able, but not less. And that is what we are supposed to do. So this is just a small activity which can be done. And you see on your screen, this is a beautiful collage which has been done by the answers of a 24 people who have given the answers out of the more than 50 who have joined. So thank you so much. Few of, yeah, fine.
Continue.
Yeah, Sandeep, over to you.
Thank you very much, sir. So the WIP activity is a very beautiful activity. Here you are given anonymity. So they don't have the fear of telling you what they feel. At the end of the activity, they realize that I am not alone. When I felt fear, many parents over here also felt fear. So it becomes a connecting moment too. Sometimes you say that in that negativity, there is some positivity. Somebody will say, I got clarity, I got resilience. So you say, if I change the perspective, there may be something beautiful to it also. So this gives a whirlwind in a small few minutes. So WIP activity is a very nice ice-breaking session, but can be done in between also. So this is not a compulsory what has to be followed, the sequence, but it helps to start the conversation, gets the people over there in a mood. And the important part is discussion of those responses. So we take the responses, we place it on the board, and then discussing it in a neutral way. So sometimes somebody may put something which is you may feel it is wrong. Like somebody wrote, I felt it is the end of the world. Acknowledge it, that yes, it is. Somebody may feel such a session and it is very, very heartbreaking. But you can see that this also can change to something other. So where you take those responses and take it to somewhere positive place. So that is the work of the facilitator. Thank you, Prashant sir. So when we are starting these sessions, we have typically divided these slides into, first is the preface, then we are discussing what are the problems of the diagnosis, and that would be nearly 50% of the slide deck. And the 50% is, let's not focus on the problems, let us go to the solutions and how can we all arrive at solutions. That is the flow of the events. So we have found that just coming to a session like this takes a lot of courage from a parent, because coming in a group and saying that my child is having a problem. We have also seen that it is very difficult to take time out because there should be somebody to take care of the child. So even the offline session, we had to arrange a different room where volunteers were taking care of children so that the parents could focus on the session. So whenever you are starting this slide of thanking them for the commitment and telling them that they are not alone and we recognize their sacrifices and their strength, will help you set a stage. So this is the slide where we start with thanking the parents. So if you read this, depending on the population you have, you may change this flow of sentences to the language of choice. So we have done this in Hindi also, because some parents were Hindi. At certain places, we address them in Marathi when the session was in Pune. So this is the flow of gist of the slide, which you have to deliver at the end. Then the session goals we try to say. so that people do not get wrong impressions. Sometimes they have come under the impression that here some good treatment is going to happen or some magic is going to happen and my child will get cured. So they come in false beliefs also. So we have to tell them that here we are coming to discuss acceptance, how coping strategies can be done, empowering the families can be done. We will be how we can navigate challenges and we'll taking action. So if it is a just 1 hour session, you can breeze through the early this 2 or 3 slides. If it is a bigger session, take them one by one. Then
And these are the just on this.
yes, sir.
All the crowded slides are.
I think we at least want to know.
All the crowded slides are the speaker not slide. They are not at all the presentation slide. So you have to understand what they are, what you have to speak with this type of these slides. Yes, Sandeep, continue.
Yes. So you can see we have specifically written speaker notes. They just are hidden slides. They are not to be displayed. They are just to be read and understood. What happens is newer professionals, some of us I have very young psychologists and people are coming as volunteers to conduct programs. So they should know what has to be taken in this message. So main slides would be just simple 1 or 2 points with some details. This would be the speaker note slides. So speaker notes would be hidden. They will be with you to read, but they won't be displayed to the parents. Now this is also very important. Many parents in any session, there will be at least 1 or 2 parents who would be very active and they start to bring the discussion to their child कि मेरे बच्चे को ये problem हो आप कैसे करोगे. So it becomes a 1:1 diagnostic discussion, which we do not aim this session to be, because we have not seen the child, we have not examined the child. So we tell them initially itself that this is general discussion about overall coping strategies. We cannot evaluate, and without any evaluation, we cannot recommend anything to your individual child. In question also try to focus on the broad thing. And here, if wherever you're conducting, if required, a separate consultation can be arranged for your child. And there we can evaluate and give 1:1 recommendations. That can, if people are conducting this program with the listen team can play a part. If you're conducting a program at your city, you can recommend it to the nearest centers which I can handle, or maybe your center. So where this child can be assessed. So there is a complete clarity, so that going forward, we are not just diagnosing any child or giving some treatment recommendation on the fly, which sometimes parents think that that session will help them in those patterns. So that clarity and setting expectations is important. Then this was again a break. So here again you can do some activity, or some activities can be planned after certain point is discussed, and that point can be taken as discussed with the parents with an activity. So I will show you. So initial part is reactions to diagnosis. What happens when a parent, so the grief cycle, we try to explain the roughly the grief cycle in certain points, so that we don't become theoretical, because parents are there at different education backgrounds, but we want them to understand that there will be some shock and denial, guilt and blame is going to be there. Then anger, frustration happens. Sometimes you start to bargain and try to find false treatments or some magic cures for your child. Everybody goes through this phase. So we give examples. So depending on the time, if you have lots of time, you can focus that there was a parent who took the child to fight therapist. He went to some religious person to get him cured. So this happens. There will be people who tell you to do 10,000 things, give him this diet, that diet. So trying newer approaches is okay, but are you going away from the basic treatment plan just because you want some magic cure to happen fast? And we have to also tell them that there will be frauds, both religious and pseudoscience, who promise miracles. But as a parent, you have to know to differentiate there. And if you have questions, we are there to help. What are the treatment modalities to understand? We can discuss at the end. So this way we can discuss. So depending on the time, you can go take it a little fast, or you can elaborate and give individual examples. Similarly, grief, sadness, fear, anxiety are other forms of reactions when a diagnosis comes. Then comparison and social pressure, because that is the key worry. Is my child normal? he's being compared to my cousin's kid who is doing many things different, better. They are going to normal school. My child is not going. So feeling of isolation and inadequacy is very common. And somewhere down the line, acceptance happens and focus from the child's weaknesses to how I can help my child to become better. So these stages of grief are in somehow we are trying to encapsulate into going into the psychological aspect. We are trying to take the main points. So now we can discuss this theoretically, but we can also do some interesting activities so that parents can understand what is to be, how their reaction is, and we can help them. So now we'll do a role play here. Due to like a limitations, it may not be possible that we are not at the same place physically, but when we do this such activities during a program and all the volunteers are doing it, like it becomes like a small play, small few minute play, and parents enjoy that and also find it easier to understand. So for this role play of reactions to diagnosis, so how that reactions to diagnosis can be encapsulated in a activity we are trying to show. Samir sir will be the narrator. Dr. Prashant is a consultant. Myself will play the father of a neurodevelopmentally challenged person, child, and Dr. Archana will play the mother. Samir sir, please go ahead.
Yeah.
I will
So before
minimize this screen.
yeah. So before we start this role play, just you have to understand you are the facilitator of this role play, not the involvement of your will be there in the role play. अदरवाइज क्या हो जाता है कि हम लोग खुद रोल प्ले करने लगते हैं. दिस टाइम इट्स अ लिमिटेड टाइम, दैट्स व्हाई वी आर डूइंग दैट थिंग. Otherwise, we have to give just one good script to them, and they have to prepare more one-to-one dialogue themselves and come with a good role play. And this role play, they have to understand that what they are the positive things, what they are the negative things, and that discussion as a being a facilitator, you have to do in detail, and ultimately this is one of the good learning activities. So let's see how we can able to give the impactful presentation to you with this role play. So being a narrator, this is a scene of the open scene, Dr. Prasant, a very dedicated adolescent specialist consultant's room. It's a quietly weekday afternoon. A young couple, Sandeep and Archana, are seated across the desk from the doctor. Their 3-year-old son is playing with a toy car in a corner, humming to himself, but not responding at all to the any adult. So the role play starts from Prasad as a doctor.
Hello, sir.
Unmute. Prasad, you have to unmute.
Mr. and Mrs. Kavare,
Yes, sir.
first of all, I want to thank you, both of you, for trust and openness during the last few sessions which you have shown. Based on what we have observed, he is having a delayed speech, a limited eye contact, few repetitive play patterns, and a social challenge. And we believe your child is showing signs of which are consistent with something called as the autism spectrum disorder.
Autism? You are saying that my child has autism? But he responds to my name, but he responds to his name. He is listening to me when I'm there around. Don't you think that he is just a small child, a 3-year-old child? Isn't it too early to say something so serious about my child?
No, sir. I don't think. Even I spoke late. My mother tells me I was not speaking till 4 years of age. This is newer thing. My mother was telling, don't go. Boys talk late. It is very common, sir. How can you say?
Yeah, I do understand. You do have all the rights to have all these questions in your mind, and this may sound sudden, but this isn't based on one moment. It's about consistent patterns over a time. Sometimes these children with autism do respond, just like your son does sometimes. But the way he connects, the way he communicates and plays is towards early signs which should not be ignored.
Doctor, I have done everything right in my pregnancy. I followed everything, the diet, the medicines which the gynecologist had given me. I even stopped working and gave him all the time. But did I miss something? Or did I do something wrong?
No,
Or
no, this
because
is
of that, my child is suffering from all these things?
Archana, this
no,
is
please no, this is not at all your fault. See, autism isn't caused by something you did or did not do. You've been a deeply involved caring mother. That's clear to all of us. What
sir,
your son needs isn't a blame, but a support and understanding. And you are already giving him that.
sir, this discussion is useless. What I think is give some treatment. You think this is a problem now? What will help him? Tell me whatever you give. Any therapy. He has to become normal.
Yeah, so
Whatever therapy you tell me 10 times a month, I'll do that. Daily, I will do that. But he has to become normal.
So I understand, Sandeep, but there is no single medicine or a magic fix which is there. There is a lot that works. With early interventions, as I said, we can have a speech therapy or occupational therapy or a structured play. And above all, most important is your involvement. We can support his development in big ways. Our goal is not to fix him, but to help him thrive in his own way. And by that, we are actually enabling him and you also, sir.
This is too much. I'm not sure, sir. I think we need to get a second opinion.
Nay, I just think we need some time to take for all these things what you are telling us.
Definitely. I mean, this is completely okay. And actually, it's okay. I mean, it's overwhelming to you. And I agree. You should go for a second opinion. If you want any further confirmation, it's fine. If you require a referrals to a senior developmental consultants, I can guide you. Even if you are having somebody in your mind, I can write a letter to them and you can show a child to a second consultant also of your choice. See, the most important thing over here is the well-being of a child. We are not rushing the process, but we can definitely refer wherever you say.
We'll
So
discuss.
now screen change, and it's a now home of the Mr. and Mrs. Kaure. It's a late in the evening. Sandeep and Archana sit on a one couch, and the child is asleep. There is a silence between them, and Archana breaks it.
Sandeep, are you still angry?
Of course. He sees him for 30 minutes and suddenly he thinks that he can tell my child is autistic. What is this? How can he be sure in a half an hour? Just ridiculous.
Maybe I think he was right. Our child really has some difficulties. He seems to be otherwise normal for us, but he keeps lining up of toys. He does not respond to his name frequently. He even does not talk much. Last week, even the preschool teacher was a little concerned for him.
So what? He's just 3, Archana. What is this? I know we can take him to Mumbai. In our city, they won't do na. In Mumbai, we'll find somebody who can do. Whatever. Your brother is in US na. We'll consult him. We'll go to US. I read in US there are therapies even for bigger illnesses. They will cure this autism immediately. I know we can do something. He will
Yeah,
make a full recovery. Don't worry.
recovery or not recovery, I don't know. But I think as parent, we need to help him. If therapies will help him to talk more or interact more, I think we should go ahead with that.
But the others will call him names. The relatives, even now they are not. What will happen? He won't be able to go to school. I'm so worried about his future, Archana.
Sandeep, even I can understand that. Even I will face so much criticism, but let them do what they want to do. He is our son. Right now, he needs us to believe in him. And we don't have to answer to anybody about our child. We can do what is good for him.
Maybe you're right.
Great. It's a big clap for the all the three players for the excellent role play. So let's discuss what they are showcase us and what they are giving us a message. So starting with for a one first question, what the emotion and reaction did you observe in the Sandeep and Archana? You can write it to the chat box. We are giving the 30 seconds to all of you. and then Madam will comment. Daniel and Kit, Daniel.
Denial and guilt, anger.
Yeah. Again, denial and the anger, frustration,
Quick recovery, correct.
shock, guilt. Again, frustration, Daniel. Normal parental reaction, hopelessness.
Mother is calm and firm, correct. Father, she even changes the father's view. Questioning, I did everything, then why? Questioning, good. Non-acceptance.
Non-acceptance. Yes, madam. 30 seconds complete. These
Yeah.
are the things. Now you can your comments.
Yeah. So now with my 40 years
So
experience.
just a minute. Just a minute. Now the facilitator's job, and that what madam is explaining. After all these things, all this role play can be done by the parents themselves only, and they can come with their own script. But what they do the mistake or what they do the right thing, that's what we have to explain in the role play. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so when we are trained in Aacci as facilitators, then we always take a back seat and we facilitate. That means we motivate the parents to do spontaneous role plays. But the new volunteers, they become very engrossed into the role play and then they start becoming the director of the script. So they teach parents how to do the right and the wrong. So then this is not a drama where we are coaching the parents a drama script. So you have to learn that you have to give them the script and then you encourage them that please do the role play as you would do from your heart, what you naturally did when you first got the diagnosis. Be very open about your reactions and all, and just remain on the backside and let the parents perform, because then, as you saw how Sandeep and Archana, it came out very realistic. The initial anger, the hurt, the solutions. And again, I'm not trying to be gender biased, but in 40 years of my experience, I have found that women are more open to counseling. Women are more open to accept help. But by nature, I think men are problem solvers. And they always feel counselor क्या करेगा? हमारा बच्चा है, हमको ही solution ढूंढना पड़ेगा. So very often it is the mother who initially does get very upset, sad because of the bond, but it is the mother who generally accepts that my child needs help. And just as Archana beautifully showed very calmly how she managed to convince Sandeep, I have found in practice that if one parent is in denial and the other parent is accepting, I work on the accepting parent and then I help her how to bring the other parent out of the denial, shock, etc. So it requires a lot of skill on our part to identify which parent is accepting, which parent in denial, and then we don't reject the parent who's in denial. We don't make him feel that he's wrong, but we try to bring him on board with the help of the other spouse. And as I said, at least in my experience, I may be wrong. The others can correct. I found majority women being more understanding and women coming more for help and counseling than the fathers. In fact, in my counseling, when I want both parents, my first session, father says, "ये सब mumbo jumbo है." The child just requires 2-3 nice whacks and the child will become better. तुम psychologist के जाके क्या कर रही हो? But after the mother comes and the child's changes are seen by the father, generally the father comes to me in the third or fourth session. So this is what I just wanted to discuss.
Right. So with these things, such type of the facilitation, what we have to do, there will be more few questions that also we can discuss, like what were the signs of the denial, anger, and bargaining in this conversation. Where do you think the parents are in the journey of the acceptance? What could be the help this family move forward to the positivity? What will be the actual doctor role and how the empathetically the doctor behave in this role play? That also we can discuss in detail, and that's why we can give them more understanding about what will be the ideal situations and how they can overcome and how they can take a expert help, and we have to convince them to take that type of the expert help, and they should having a good faith in the expert rather than go for the any other quacks and any other people. So this is our main aim and objective of the role.
Samir, I just wanted to add that we have very beautifully showed in this role play, that never hesitate to say, take a second opinion. Because sometimes the parents feel that you want that child under your care and you're labeling him because you want to squeeze them for payment, etc. So being open and saying, ki, take a second opinion and you can continue to another center or come back to me, makes them understand that we are not here to label or exploit the parents and giving that child a thing, but we are here to help. So that is why we have to be open about the parents have a right to take a second opinion, even a third opinion, before they are convinced that their child react. Because unless they are convinced, they cannot go into the state of acceptance. And unless the state of acceptance comes, we cannot really help them and motivate them to do what is necessary for the child.
Okay.
I'll share the screen. Just
For Sandeep, continue. If anyone has not put their email address and name into the chat box, please put it on the chat box. So on that basis, we are sending to you the postage tomorrow morning or afternoon, and you have to complete that thing and you can get the certificate immediately.
So depending on the time available, sometimes we can give them 10 minutes for practice of the role play, and then they perform 2 2 minutes, and then the discussion part. So here the initial part, acting and everything, are just preface for us, for them to get involved, for topics to be discussed, and for them to emotionally align to what is going on. Otherwise, it just happens that they are listening. There is no change or transformation. So many times such role plays help them. Sometimes parents perform some emotion which they are usually not able to show, but this helps them align their thoughts with their actions. So similar can be done depending on an ADHD child. The role play may be of a discipline role play. Depending on school problems, it can be problems of if expectations problem is there, you can show a relative who is putting pressure on the child. So different kinds of scenarios can be created depending on the situation at hand. For initial reactions to diagnosis, then we discuss what are the core fears of a diagnosis. Why are we so worried about it? Why are getting so many reactions? So these are the basic questions. Will my child ever be independent? What others will say? Will he have a normal life? So that we will be discussing. How will he manage his education long term? So long term, what will happen in the future? What will happen to our family? Because already we are under stress. So nearly everybody has some or the other familial financial stresses, and this becomes a big burden on it. So what will happen then? And what will happen when we are no longer around? So these, when we voice those fears, they understand that everybody around us is going through those fears. So it helps them that if everybody can cope, we can manage. So that is what we want to try to go through when we are discussing about fears of diagnosis. Then some myths which we need to discuss. Whenever we get, these are the common myths which are around any child who is lagging. First thing is that the parents are bad. So that is the biggest worry a mother faces. Ki everybody, especially in-laws, are blaming me because the child is not speaking, not eating, whatever, not walking yet. Second thing, which false hope, time leta, it will grow, child will outgrow. His Dadaji spoke at 5 years, or some such familial examples will be given. And then when they get a diagnosis, this typical the child doesn't feel emotion, they are emotionless, or autism. So this such kind of reactions come. ADHD na, this is just newer things. They just are lazy, lack of discipline. Aajkal ke parents discipline nahi karte. So similar kind of reactions, and not only from others, but we have seen that such reactions even come from pediatricians, maybe well-meaningly, but because they are not completely trained in this dealing with these conditions, sometimes even they mistake the conditions from behavioral problems. So we try. Then there are also myths that everything requires a treatment. So medicines are the important part. Whereas in autism, medicine may play a very small role. They do not run. Then neurodivergent children can't succeed. When we give them examples, show them people who have already succeeded and are in different walks of life, not just one field, then they get some hope that my child also can do. And third, lot of fear we have seen is don't diagnose, don't label him, we'll do the therapies. But they don't understand that diagnosis is not for showing others, but the assessment professional tools are done to assess his progress and assess in what walk he is more deficient, so that we can give him better care. So that's what we try to myth busting we need to do. So initially will be reactions to diagnosis, then the fear of diagnosis, and what are the common myths associated with this. Then comes guilt part. What is the core guilt? So in this thing, there may be many such questions. You may put an open-ended discussion. What are the guilts of parents when such a diagnosis happens? So you may get responses more than this. More than the guilt part, the exact questions part, what we want to try to do is that such reactions are normal and they are for each person. And not only that, the so-called normal children, if they make a mistake, everybody starts to judge them. Even when we are on that side, we start to judge them. So now we should have empathy. As a parent also, we should understand that this is a pattern of society which does not relate or does not help our focusing on those things will not help our child, nor will it help our mental peace. So this is a natural thing and everybody is going through it. Let us change and find people who, instead of making us feel this guilt or making pointing fingers at us, are helping us, because they will be the part of the society which will help us achieve more with a child. Then the impact on marriage. So two things, we already have studies that neurodiverse children, the familial rate of disturbed marriages, broken families is far more than normal children. So that can happen. The impact on finances, because sometimes the father has to start to earn more to cope up with the therapies, and that creates a distance. Sometimes mother is so focused on the child that there is no relationship of positivity between husband and wife. They become only the parents of the kid. So this is very natural reaction to happen, but how we can avoid that? So for us to discuss the solutions later on, we will be discussing on these 2 points: impact on the marriage. This also can be an open-ended question, and what are the impacts and how to. Here initially we are just listing down the problems. We are not discussing the solutions, which will come later. And then impact on the siblings. The other kid is many time becomes a caretaker for the special child or neurodiverse child. He himself has some needs which are lost during the care of the child, and everybody, and he also is going through, he doesn't process that information. For him, the other child becomes a source of embarrassment, stigma. They are also feeling love and care, but they're also feeling helpless to it. So all of this is going through their mind too. So we have to realize, the parent, that your child, the other child, is also going through some issues. If we can help him cope with it better, your family dynamics itself changes. So this was the initial part of the presentation. Here we are listing the reactions, fear, guilt, and the impact which happens on the family. And this, when you are taking 1 hour session, just dwell 15 minutes on this part and focus the rest half an hour for the solutions part and 15 minutes for the question answers. Whereas for a longer session, we have to create the preface and foundation for a detailed discussion later on. So this may take even 1 hour. Now from here, Dr. Archana Kavade will be taking you to the slide set. Here we'll be focusing on the strengths. So this is a break. If you are having a longer session, you may take a 2-minute break during this slide and go ahead. Dr. Archana, you can continue.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Bhave ma'am, Aacci team, and Listen team for giving me this opportunity to take this acceptance module. So basically, first we understood that what are the issues, the parents' mental condition, and what can be the issues which are coming up. From here onwards, we are going to give them some kinds of activities or which can be done on their day-to-day basis, how they can manage themselves, the other siblings, and accordingly maintain a good relationship with the child. So here in this slide, we try to acknowledge the challenges that they are facing. It is not easy for them. Here we have to tell them that they are not alone in this journey. There are other people around also going through the same phase. Here we try to shift the mindset from why me to what can I do. Okay, like the picture shows that the glass is always full. So we have to change the point of view of the child, that instead of taking the guilt, you can focus on what can be done or the strength of the child and how we can go towards improving the child. Okay, the child can find happiness, fulfillment, and all those things, but our focus should be more on the child strength and how we can build. So in this particular slide, we generally take the focus to solution, to finding solutions. So in the notes also we have mentioned that. Again, here we are going to tell them in this slide is that every child is unique. Diagnosis does not change their child. Every child has their own strengths, likes and dislikes. So diagnostic tool gives us a guideline by giving us a diagnosis, but they does not change the potential of the child. So here in this slide, what we are trying to explain them is diagnosis give us understanding. Okay, how we can deal with it, but diagnosis does not limit the potential of the child. So in this slide, again, we are explaining the same thing. So here again, like I said, so we are removing pressure of being normal. So diagnosis again is a struggle for the parents to accept, like they are at different phases of grief cycle. So we have to understand that some children, some parents may be on the guilt part, but some parents may be on the anger side. So there may be a different different dilemma where the parents are sitting in front of you. But then again, if you guide them to accept the diagnosis, if you accept what struggles they are going, the parents, if we reduce their if we reduce their other expectations from the society, they are a little positive towards working with the child. So in this slide again, like I said, normal is a social expectations, they are not the real goals. The pressure whichever the society is building upon as parents, or as you're building pressure for what the society is creating on the child, may also harm his self expectations. So keeping up unrealistic expectations from them usually may cause slow progressions. So again, like I said, we have to give more emphasis on how we can increase the emphasize on the strength than the limitations of the child. So here again the slides have seen. So here again we start on the on how the parents can build on the parent-child relationship. How we can tell them that your child is the same before the diagnosis. Only the diagnosis has given us a direction or a path where we can deal with the child's difficulties. So unconditional love, patience, and understanding your child will definitely improve a relationship between your child and you. Creating a supportive environment. What happens is once the diagnosis happens, the parents, they keep everything to themselves. They don't want their relatives, their in-laws, or other people to understand the diagnosis. But we have to guide them that you have to create an environment for a child by uh, including some of the close people around in the treatment or the management of the child. So creating safe, accepting a home where there is no judgment will definitely help the child to grow well, and this again gives a good impact on the child also. So encouraging the strengths and the interest of the child. Once the diagnosis is happening, usually the parents' focus is upon removing what weaknesses you have. He should talk. He should mingle with the peer group. He should do this. He should do that. But in all these processes, the parents forget that the child also has his own interest. The child also has his own strengths. So we have to encourage the parents to focus on the abilities, hobbies, or unique talents the child is having. So the next is teaching emotional regulation. So emotional regulation is a very important part in acceptance, because as parents, when we learn ourselves to regulate ourselves, or we learn the skills of emotional regulation, we are able to teach our child also how to regulate. Co-regulation happens when the parent themselves learns about emotional regulation. So teaching about coping strategies, mindful breathing, deep breathing, meditation, or some kinds of activities which generally parents are interested, to getting them indulging into all these kinds of activities, maybe 5 or 10 minutes a day, would help the parents to deal with this particular thing well. Social support groups. There are so many social support groups, communities which are involved. So, if whatever area are you in, if you all can find some support groups, or if there are some communities which are involved, or encouraging the parents to build, friendship. So, what happens is these parents who are regularly going to the therapies, or who these parents who have come for the lectures, may themselves form a group and encourage each other to deal with the difficulties. So growth mindset and problem solving mindset. So teaching parents how to take challenges and modeling problem solving is, you can give some examples around and help the parents to deal with that. You have to emphasize on routines and predictability for any neurodiverse child, because a routine generally helps a child reduce anxiety. He feels secure in routine. And when we as parents are working in a routine, parents can take time for themselves. So here you'll have to emphasize more on the routines and predictable environment for the children also, and for the parents also, how it can be helpful. So this is explained in the slide over here. Yeah. Then you can take a break. Another important point is strengthening family bonds, creating time for your child, for the spouse to be each other, having time for themselves. Even I have seen some parents, what they do is, on alternate weekends, one parent will go with his friends, have his own time, and the other parent will take care of the child. So this way you can help the parents to prioritize quality time with the child, and also give themselves me time. Okay, sharing responsibilities, importance of co-parenting is also a very important part, where you can emphasize with the parents that both parents, if they start taking responsibilities, may give a better outcome. Seeking supports from the community. Like I said, whichever area are you working in, y'all can guide the parents, or y'all can guide the parents who are in the team or who are in the workshop, to make a group for themselves. So there's a group discussion. Prashant sir is taking a group discussion. So Prashant sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So for the group discussion, right, Sandeep, now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. So see, whenever we are having parents who are actually a group of neurodivergents, and they are having some issues at that time, one of the activity that can be done will be in form of group discussions, in which some topics, and then they can discuss it, and accordingly we can do it. But over here we are having one quiz which will be played. Sandeep, you want to play over here or at the end?
The quiz is the end. The case.
Okay.
The case.
Case.
The
कोई
child.
भी ग्रुप डिस्कशन का केस ना?
हाँ वही. मैं ग्रुप शेयरिंग स्टॉप करता हूँ. आप बता के फिर वो.
So in this role plays, different role plays can be there, on which people can actually do discussions. We'll be just sharing one of the see, as we have seen that in a stage of grief, the phases are there: the denial, the anger, all this anger phase, after that depression phase and acceptance phase. But in between, as already in the slides it's been said, there are few scenarios which will be there, and we can give that different type of scenarios and they can discuss it. There are plenty of scenarios which can be there, but I'll be just giving one or two to you, and the rest all can be given as a word format to you. One of that is regarding the uh, forgotten child. Say, for example, in a family, a sibling is there who is a normal, and they give more attention. Parents are giving more attention to a neurodivergent child. So, sibling will always complain that that child is not getting enough attention because of the neurodivergent brother and sister, and they are being ignored and they are being unimportant. So over here, the discussion question for the group can be given will be how the parents can balance attention between all children, how they can support a siblings emotionally. So this is one thing which can be given to them. So yeah, over to ma'am, Swati ma'am.
So we'll give this question to the audience. So
Yeah.
let us say you are a parent of a child. We are let's say, and give different things which can be done. There are two siblings in the family. One is a very good achiever, doing well in school, and his younger brother is now diagnosed autism, and mother is completely paying attention to him. He is not getting. So, what can you think of? What are the solutions?
Yeah, so the scenario has already been posted in the chat also. Yeah.
Yes. Now, we make them discuss and think. And if possible, you can write down the responses on a whiteboard so that they can be kept. So I encourage all the participants in our TOT, kindly put a chat message, small messages, which you think can help the parents achieve this. So we have two children in the family. One has been diagnosed neurodiverse autism or some neurodiverse condition. And now the elder sibling, who is usually very involved with the parents, is feeling left out. Yes, many times what we do is depending on the circumstances, but parents, if they get involved, they get more interested in it. Daily discussion about daily activities. We want to get parental involvement, involving the elder in support group. Okay. Yeah. Now the elder sibling is feeling left out, who is normally was the focus of the family. Now the younger kid has come and he's a neurodiverse child, and mother is paying attention to him. So getting him involved in the support group may even think you are not helping me. Acknowledging each child's needs equally, correct? So first, parent has to know that even though this child is having a problem and he needs support, other kid is also having his own needs. We cannot say that this is more important than that. We have to at least try to create a bond. Start a short activity every day. Very nice idea. So with the elder kid, even if a small activity is done, he will feel acknowledged. If he gets the time, family time, like playing some games, very nice. Giving attention to the forgotten child, giving one-on-one time. So each parent can separately spare some minute, or they can both have a common activity. So if the elder child likes sport, the father can play with him for 10 minutes in the morning, some football or some game, and the child feels involved. This is my time with my dad. Explaining the sibling about the condition. Yes, so we have to also do that so that the child understands what my other sibling is going through, and he is also in the loop and taking care of in this age. Appropriate manner, supporting siblings by listening, acknowledging their emotions. Parents need counseling to understand how to. Yes, so parents require support.
Sandeep.
Yes, ma'am.
Sandeep, here all are the experts, so they will definitely give the expert
Yes.
answer. So we have to continue our presentation, so we can conclude on the time.
I just wanted to make 2-3 comments.
Yes.
Yeah.
The common mistakes which are done, one is putting too much burden on the other child, saying that now you are the support. हमारे मरने के बाद ये तुम्हारा burden है, तुमको ही संभालना पड़ेगा. That puts a tremendous problem on that sibling. So depending on the emotional maturity of the child, don't put these burdens. Just tell him that we need your help. He's your little brother or sister, or little older brother or sister. But I've seen people putting so much burden on the sibling that the sibling says कि मैंने क्या पाप किया कि मैं normal जन्मा हूँ. So you should not bring to a level where the sibling starts hating the other child or refuses to get involved in the care, saying that my parents only care for that child and not me. So it has to be a very delicate balance that the normal child or the mainstream child should get his due. Of course, because you have a neurodivergent child, you are going to spend more time on the other child, but never make the normal child or the mainstream child feel neglected or feel ki why was I born in this family. And that unfortunately happens because everything goes thing. And yes, what not to say, very good Prashant, ki don't be selfish, your child, that other child has special needs, etc., etc. But that normal child also has normal needs, and he also requires normal connectedness and normal security. So that is why we should always make the parents understand ki yes, though your heart goes out to this child, you have to also look at the normal sibling. And parents also should not go into a caretaker syndrome and get a burnout. They should also have space for themselves, taking help to get me time. Yes, Sunny, go ahead.
Yeah. So regarding Sandeep, just so regarding the insert about the group discussion activity related, you can having a discussion in that two way. One important thing, you can divide the group into different way and give a specific questions to them to discuss and come with a conclusion, and we can discuss them on a specific point as what Madam has concluded like that way. Here again, our role will be the facilitator's role. We in the discussion, we should not involve at all about the how they can do the activity. But at the end of this discussion, what the conclusion they are coming with in a point way, we have to discuss that point in a detail. So it should not be the haywire discussion of the other point, but the targeted point can be discussed. We have to give a specific timeline and specific time. Otherwise, that will be the discussion will go on and on if the too much enthusiastic parents are like that way. So what the I just do the checklist of this thing, you also have to give that check time that this is the time is over and you have to come with these things. So this is the thing what you have to do as an activity facilitator. Yes, Sandeep, you can go.
Yes, Dr. Archana, you can continue.
So, balance care and personal well-being. So, for the mothers and for the fathers, like I said, they should take time for personal well-being also. So, you emphasize more on more on the activities that they can do. So, prevent caretakers burnout. They should take break. They should recharge. So, emphasizing on the parents' mental health also is very important during these sessions. So prioritizing me time, spending quality time, giving time to our spouse, giving time to other children, adapting a positive marital interactions, keeping discussions open will definitely help relation buildings. So this also can be a part in a group discussions where Samir sir said that we can give different kinds of topics for them for group discussions. So then we can give this particular thing as what can be done for a good marital interactions, or how can you take a proper self care, and what kinds of activities as parents you all can include. The other is teaching the parents of problem based coping mechanisms. So focusing more on the problem, focusing more on the solutions than the problems, giving day to day practical advices or understanding what the problems are and how to find solutions, then learning and adapting strategies, evidence based strategies. So some children's, here you can tell them that if the child is finding difficulty in communicating, there are some other modalities of AACs. There are some picture module which the parents can adapt to help child for better communications. Seeking for professional guidance for not only for the difficulties of the child, but even if the parent is having difficulty going through acceptance or having other difficulties, even the parents should take professional guidance so that this challenges which the parent himself is facing can also be reduced. Importance of therapies and interventions, how early interventions helps improve skills in the child and long term activities and long term outcomes. So basically, why acceptance is important, because once you accept, early intervention starts happening. So time and then, if you keep the parents aware that why are we doing this acceptance and why acceptance is important, because denial usually delays interventions and acceptance usually starts early interventions. So if we just keep on, in between just telling the parents the importance of this, probably the parents will will be helped in understanding why are we telling all these things. But so acknowledging their feelings, avoiding parenting role burden. Sometimes, as mothers, usually they take a lot of, they take a lot of burden on themselves, where they can divide the responsibilities. They can find help for the child also should be emphasized. Sometimes, like ma'am said, Bhave ma'am said, that the other siblings are also bought into co-parenting, so that again should be avoided. Ensuring one-to-one time with all the family members, spending quality time will develop the bond. Okay. So keeping an open discussion, encouraging each and every person in the family along with the child who has difficulties to develop and develop their personal achievements, have their own hobbies, or develop their own interest will build a happy family. So you have to encourage the parents, especially siblings part. What we have already discussed in the case discussions can be done in the case discussions. If you don't get time, there are the last 3 slides are mainly we can discuss upon how to deal with the siblings and how to avoid parenting burden on the siblings. So the takeaway messages should usually be giving the parents hope and optimism that they are not alone. Acceptance will bring the strength, and again focusing on the progress of the child, not comparing the child with somebody else. Okay. Self-care is important. Challenging helps to lead to growth should also be included. Self-care importance should be enhanced whenever we are giving them this message.
So like different activity we did, Prasansal will be conducting one interesting activity for you. I'll stop the sharing.
Fine. So this is as such a quiz activity which we have planned for all of you. In this quiz activity, see, pre-test and post-test is already been done, but this is a simple Kahoot quiz which is there, and we will be posting a link. The link is there. It's a simple 13 questions which you can just click on it. We'll be just pausing for around 5 minutes so that you people can complete it. I'll just be sharing the screen so that we can come to know how many people are able to join. Just give me a minute. Yeah. So screen is visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you have to just click on the chat link, and at present the 7 participants are able to join. Just click on it, or you can also just scan this QR code or open the kahoot.it and enter this pin. The pin number is visible on the screen. We will be giving time till 10:15, 5 minutes, so to complete the quiz.
So you can continue to play the quiz or answer the quiz. These are the different kinds of activities which we are doing on the online platform. Similar kind of activities can be done offline also, where you can ask questions and they can give answers. So it just becomes a way of learning the messages and understanding those messages. So here we are playing. As you continue, we'll just wrap up the last, this was the end. So quiz was the end of the, just a second.
Dr. Sunita, no need to download the app. The second option is continue in browser. And I think 26 were able to join out of 56. No, 30, yeah.
So these are just different ways where adults can discuss topics in a fun way without being, and the quiz are one form, role play was one, group discussion was one. Key point is that the messages are understood in their own way and they can reflect upon their own journey and see where they are and what new things they can incorporate in their current scenario. That is more important. Till the quiz is going on.
Yeah, it's still going on. I mean, I think people have reached to 46 because it's only a 2 minutes, Sandeep.
Yes,
There are 13 questions. On the screen, you can see 33 now. They are just playing. I think Sandeep, you are playing, so the sound is coming from your PC.
Yes. I'll stop.
Yeah, yeah. But then, yes, I mean, Amog has reached to 70%. Mayank has reached to 54. Boss is 100%. We need to know who the boss is. Two more minutes and then this quiz will go on running, but then we'll go further. Those who are not able to play, it's just a simple click and the browser, in your browser, it will open. Dr. RG Patel, you can just click on the link and or copy this and paste it in your browser. Same with Dr. Ram, Dr. Shama, and Dr. Vinit. Fine. So majority out of 35, majority have finished it. Amog, Mayank, Nikita, SB, Kalyani, Swati, V, Mala, Rajul, VM, all this have almost finished it. So thank you. I think, and the beauty of this quiz is, I mean, you can plan your own. This is a free app. You can have around 100 participants on this platform playing free. This was actually a non-concurrent assignment quiz, but while you are there taking a session, you can play a live quiz. I'm not showing it because it is taking a time and it will require two devices, one laptop and one mobile phone. And many times people are joined with only one device. So that's why we are not showing it. But out of 35, almost many have finished the quiz. So thank you so much. Yeah. Again, I'm not showing the correct answer. Reason being, once the quiz is over, you will be seeing the self answers. I mean, the correct answers will be visible on your screens only. So thank you so much.
So similar quiz can be done in offline sessions also. You need a such quiz which is uploaded and you can show it and they can play through their mobiles. So it is just that the messages which were given again are re-emphasized through fun activities. Questions and feedbacks we welcome at the end, and usually parents have many questions especially of the session. So at least keep, even in a 1 hour session, keep 10 minutes for question and answers. For a longer session, if it is a 3 hour session, try to keep last 20 minutes for there. You may even collect those questions earlier on cheats, which so that there is last minute nobody is rushing it. And if the topics have been covered, instead of giving elaborate answers, you can just tell that this was covered during the slide, so that you can go ahead. With the team, we are also thinking of making, with the team, pre-FAQs. So common questions is maybe sometimes related to a diagnosis. We can then create those FAQs so that everybody has those answers for the most common asked questions. So as we go ahead with the sessions and you conduct activities, you can respond if any difficulties you had, so that we can then update, make these small changes in the module, which can be made even more beneficial. Thank you. Samir, sir.
And as Samir says, can we have the videos open for a group photo? I mean, questions fine, but then all same cases. Yeah.
We'll have to have
So this TOT is mainly for the hand holding for the all the TOT participants to just give an overview of the presentation and the how you can conduct the activity. So each and every slide that was prepared and presented by the Sandeep and the Archana will be given to you along with the speaker note behind the next slide as a speaker note. It will be hidden slide when you present as a PPT presentation. Only the important slide will be the remaining thing. No content will be able to change directly without the permission and without the giving the details directly to our group. And we will go for this assessment, and we can definitely incorporate in the future presentation as and when required.
Since we want to keep to time, any other queries, any other discussions, we can continue in the WhatsApp TOT group, because we are going to keep this group active, and whatever suggestions you have, whatever difficulties you have, you can continuously keep putting them as a group, and all four of us, as we get time, will be able to happy to answer. So a little interaction. Samir, 5 minutes, if anybody has any comments.
Yeah. And just
put up your hand so that we know
are starting
one person at a time. Before I end, I would like to really thank Sandeep and Archana. They have done a wonderful job in making those contents, and you can see how beautiful the slides are. And I thank Prashant for the wonderful activities and the overall coordination, of course, the national coordinator Samir Shah for picking the time and everything in detail and making a flawless TOT as usual. So I'm thankful to all four of them. They are wonderful, and I'm really proud to have them on Aacci team.
So before any questions taken, just giving, just a minute, Patil, just a minute. Before we take the question answer, we are just giving this presentation and this topic, what we are discussed today is just beginning of this whole year only as a big week celebration. So any activity conducted then after the whole year, that would be included in this activity period only. Okay. Yes, Patil sir.
Yeah, instead of doing this activity as a adult Aacci week, can it be a ongoing activity for a year?
Yeah, that's what Samir said. Yeah.
Same.
So we'll start it in the Aacci week. We'll try to do maximum in Aacci week, but we'll continue it for a year. Okay. But you have to continue giving the reports, because then Samir has to compile the report. Yes, Amog, you had put up your hand.
Yes, ma'am. I just had a query that the role plays are very interesting, but actually for us, since we aren't that involved with being a parent, what I mean to say, for a parent, sometimes they can get very emotional when they're doing the role play, because they must be reliving their experience of denial, guilt, frustration, or whatever emotions they went through. So during that time, as a facilitator, how do we handle the situation? Because things can get a little bit emotional during the role play.
Yeah. So I think what we have to do is we should ourselves be good counselors, but if you don't have the technique in our team, please keep a counselor or a clinical psychologist who can then take the person who's really become overwhelmed with emotions or crying, take them to one side and then validate their feelings. And you say, yes, we understand what you're going through and thank you for cooperating and all. But keep one person specially aside to sort of, because if you're facilitating and you're going through that, you can't spare time to take that parent aside and give the solace which is needed. So always keep a counselor, one person from your team who is give this. We do in very many of our workshops, especially when I do my programs and emotional regulations. I keep one person from our team to handle people who get emotionally upset and all that. So it's a good point, Amog, you brought up. I think we should have a person who will handle these because this is a very sensitive issue. People are going to get very emotional. I also wanted one suggestion from all of you. What I felt they did such a wonderful role play. I'm going to request them to literally shoot it. And that can be taken as a part of the teaching program so that in various places we can show that. So Prashant, Sandeep, can you please do that like we do others? So if you have a video clip, we can share it as part of the teaching material and they can show it in various places because everybody may not have that skill to do such a good role play. Second, sometimes we may get parents who are not so open and more open communicative, and it will happen that nobody does a role play. So even if we try to motivate them, they may not do a role play. In that case, we should have this video ready so that we can just show them a role play. So can you please do that, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
One
Any
more
other
thing,
question?
only
One important thing that what we have to convey the message what Madam has said always Aacci is believing in the group activity of the our volunteers. So never go alone. Always take someone with you as a not as like the expert but as a supporter, and take them. It will be really helpful for you to manage the crowd also and manage this type of the activity.
one more thing, in the offline session which we conducted, there are many special kids because there is nobody caretaking at home. They were brought to the session, and what happens is they are not stable. They are moving around and they disturb the flow, and parent also can't pay attention to the session. So Madam Bhavya ma'am was there. She suggested we had two or three counselors. So they took the children to another room and they played with them. So once they were there secure, the parents could then engage with the program. So sometimes in this session, it may happen that even if we say there may be no arrangement at home. So that is why we also partnered with Listen. They have a team. So there was a psychologist, there was their speech therapist who know how to handle these kids. So they were taking care of these children in the other room when we were discussing with parents. So some of such activities may be needed. So such support group may be helpful to there. My daughter was there. My daughter is 11 years old. So she was there. She was playing with two kids. So even sometimes such peer educators or peer they can be helpful for us to conduct the activity. So that can be kept in mind.
What Sandeep said is really right, Amo. This was our first session. And Sandeep and I also had not anticipated that all the parents will come with their kids because we had said it is a parent program. But obviously, as he said, they may not have caretakers to leave the children at home. And suddenly we had not only parents, we had about 7, 8 children. And some of them were hyperactive, some of them were disruptive. But because we had Sandeep's son and we had the Listen team, and luckily we had another room next door, so we could manage to put all the children into that room. And Sandeep's daughter and the two counselors from Listen, they kept them occupied. Otherwise, it was very difficult. We could not have conducted this parent session. So then now we have decided in the SOP that there should be a room and there should be 2 people who will be able to take care of these children if we want the parents to focus on the program. So, every field test you do, you learn. There are certain things we don't anticipate, but now we anticipated and now we have taught it as a protocol to everybody.
One more anticipation is that what we have to keep in mind. Never expect it too much crowded session. This will be the session of the 8 or 10 people also, but do it as of your end with same enthusiasm. That is a very important thing, rather than waiting for the more crowd to join.
Very important point. The numbers are not important, but every parent matters. And wherever we get, even if we get 10 parents, we can make a difference in their life. Yes, Swati Vinchurkar.
So first of all, thank you to all of the facilitators. An excellent concept and very much needed. My question was the Listen team that is being mentioned. Do they go out to other cities apart from Pune, or what is the idea
Is
behind?
any Listen person here? Otherwise, I'll answer your question. Now, Aacci has been working in collaboration with many like-minded NGOs, professional organizations, and people. So Listen approached us to work with us, and we started the pilot in Pune because Sandeep is in charge of the Pune PCB center, and his wife Archana is a developmental pediatrician. So everything pilot we have done in Pune, but they have centers in Delhi, NCR, Lucknow, Bangalore, and Jaipur. And we have identified Aacci volunteers and senior people who are in these cities who are going to be our people, because they don't need more than one person there. And whenever Listen conducts these programs, we have identified the pediatricians from Aacci who will be doing the program as a faculty.
Okay. Sure. Thank you.
Ma'am, I want to say something, ma'am.
Yeah, Sunita.
Yeah. First of all, ma'am, congratulations, and it's nice to see you again
Thank you.
very, involved in this program, and of course the team, Dr. Sandeep, Dr. Sameer, and Dr. Prashant. Very nice, ma'am. It's a very good module. I just want to ask. I have a person who is coming from the Sunshine by Listen. So, I mean, will we get the information if we want to conduct a program with them?
Sunita,
And
you have
how?
already been identified as the key person for NCR. So we are going to have a separate TOT and a separate Zoom meeting for the people whom we have identified to collaborate with Listen, and you will be part of it, and all your answers will be given that time.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else would like to say anything? So the others will have to, where it is not a Listen program and there is no center, you can do it in your center, in your community, but you have to inform Dr. Sameer Shah where you'll be holding the center as usual, asking him that this is what we are planning. He will go through it and then he'll give you permission saying, yes, you can hold it, and then you have to give the report. But as we said, don't go single. You must go 2-3 people, because it's not a session which a single person can handle. And if you have to have activities, so ideally at least minimum 3 people should go per session from that area. But please don't just do ad hoc. I request you, whatever you have planned, please write to Sameer at aacci2019@gmail.com. And those who are Pune based and those who want to do something in Pune, Sandeep is there to organize. Somebody wants to do in Surat, Prashant is there. So we have all our Aacci centers. We have Aacci's. Go to the website. You'll find who's in charge of the Aacci center. Like RG Patil is in charge of the whole Vidarbha region. Vijay Mane is in charge of the whole Western Maharashtra region. So we have regional heads. Our Aacci website gives all the names, details, contact numbers. So please contact them with a CC to Sameer Shah. He's the national coordinator, and Sandeep Kaude, but the regional in charges will also help you. Sameer, when you make a SOP for all this regional in charges also. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And
anybody else would like to say anything?
again emphasizing the same thing. This is just the starting of the week, but we will continue till the year. So you can do the activity at any time.
Alpana, anything you can work with at your area with RG?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can
Madam
I
is with me.
start off?
Yeah.
Madam, I am
Anybody
ready
else?
to work with RG sir at Chandrapur.
Yeah,
Good,
yeah.
good. I met you.
There.
Yes, I remember. Yeah.
Yes, madam. Yes.
Welcome, Ram. Yeah.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Ram is very active, madam, in
I know.
Chandrapur.
Looking forward.
Yeah.
I've been to Chandrapura when my husband was CEO Nagpur. It's a lovely place. I went and saw all the forests and everything.
Okay, waiting for you again.
Now I don't know whether I'll be able to travel, but at that time I did. Anybody else would like to take up? Shama, Nasik, Geeta, Bangalore?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much for such a wonderful program. And I'm willing to take up at Nashik.
And we have Navi Mumbai, Kalyani and Amog and everybody. Welcome, Ami. You can be working with our Aacci Gujarat team.
नवी मुंबई किरण भी है मैडम.
हाँ, Kiran bhi hai. I'm seeing only on the screen. So there are 2 screens. So I'm sorry, Kiran, if I missed you. Welcome, Navi Mumbai, Kiran. So whoever I'm seeing on this screen, I'm just taking names.
Really beautifully set, madam. The whole concept and all flow is excellent. I think we should be able to do something else.
Thank you. I'm really blessed to have a wonderful team who does all the work and I get the credit. Okay.
This is a whole screen is our team now.
Yeah. So who else would like to sort of say that they can do it in their place? I'm going to the second screen now so I can get more. Mala, I hope we can do some work in Pune together. Looking forward to work again.
Yes, after this I was going to message Dr. Kavde
Okay.
to see how I can
Yeah, you're
contribute.
welcome. Neha Singh, Mumbai. Looking forward to your work in Mumbai. I'm just
Ma'am, I'm in Navi Mumbai and
oh,
Raigad
Navi
district.
Mumbai. Sorry. So you already have a nice team, Kalyani,
Build a
Kiran,
big team.
Amog. So you have a strong team there. Satish Agarwal, Amravati.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, we can spread up to Raigad, four of
good.
us together.
Very good. Excellent.
Yes, ma'am.
Satish
Yes, ma'am.
Agrawal, yeah, Satish Agrawal is working with us, madam.
Yeah.
Nagpur.
Anybody else would like to volunteer from the other volunteers?
Ma'am,
Smita
we
Salunke is
assured,
a clinical psychologist, so we are doing at Jahangir Hospital in Pune. Anybody else?
ma'am, we assured for Amravati. We are
Thank you
always
so
there.
much. Thank you so much. Vijay Mane is going to work in Western Maharashtra, our active regional in charge. Anybody
Ma'am,
else?
I will
madam is
join with Sama madam in Nashik.
Okay,
Dr.
great.
Trupti. Yeah.
Very good.
Geeta madam is there in the Bangalore.
Yeah, Tripti is also in Nasik.
Yes, I will try. I will try. You give me the whole concept I had heard now.
Yeah.
So I will.
Any new people? Anybody would like to? Thank you for attending. We are so grateful. Anybody from Listen? Just put up your hands. Who are people from Listen?
Uh,
Listen should have been there.
ma'am, this is Dr. Rash.
Yes, Rashika. Uzma,
Yeah.
you all are from Listen. The people in Listen, just put your videos, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Which Listen? Which city?
I'm from Delhi.
Okay, so Delhi we have Dr. Sunita
Um,
Manchanda and Dr. Latika Bhalla, and I'll give you their names to contact them. They'll be working, they are in charge of Delhi NCR, and so both of them will contact with you. Any other Listen
yeah.
person, please?
And I'm from Noida 121.
Okay, so Noida comes under NCR, so Sunita is in charge, Sunita Manchanda, she'll be working with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dr.
you,
Sunny,
ma'am.
you are from?
Yes, sir, from Pune, Magarpatta.
So please contact Dr. Sandeep Kaude to
Yes, sir.
work in Pune. All those who are in Pune, please contact Dr. Sandeep Kaude. All those in Gujarat, please contact Prashant and Sameer. Those who are in Vidarbha, contact Dr. Raji Patil. Those who are in Western Maharashtra, contact Dr. Vijay Mane. Navi Mumbai, the whole team is there. And Vidarbha, anyway, Amravati, everybody is going to contact Aacci. Okay, so shall we call it a day? Thanking all of you for all
Thank
your
you, madam, for extending.
attention and spending
Thank
time.
you, ma'am.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you,
Before
ma'am.
completing that,
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Yes,
you.
Sameer.
before completing that, if anybody is still pending to write their email address, please write down the chat box in the next 1 minute. Otherwise, you can lose that post test. And any query now, group is open for the discussion, so you can continue the discussion in the group also, and exclusively related with the topic only. There is no extra discussion will be allowed in it. Thank you.
Very much.
Thank you, madam. Good night.
So welcome all again. Thank you. And please start working this week. If you can do some programs, it will be nice in the launch of Aacci week. But as Sameer said, it will continue for a year. But at least try to do some programs in the Aacci week.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Good
Good night
night.
and God bless. Okay. Sameer, you can close the meeting?
Yes.
Or you
Yes,
can
ma'am.
just
I'm just
switch on
waiting for
your...
1 minute.
Yeah,
Waiting for
then-
1 more minute.
Okay, then just wait for 2 minutes.
Yes,
You, me, Prashant can just talk something. Sandeep can wait. Ask Prashant and Archana to rejoin.
We can create, madam, again.
Yeah. Sandeep, just ask Archana to rejoin.
Yes, yes.
And just phone Prashant. Yeah.
So
Sandeep,
everybody
yeah.
who has completed to put their email address can leave the meeting now. It's completion of the today's program, and just continue the work in the field now.
Excellent, Sandeep Archana. Very nice. तू येतेस आणि जातेस मध्ये मध्ये.
एक आएगा एक जाएगा.
I've started a visual migraine headache. Huh? Now I always start calling me at night. I'll have to tell them firmly no. I just came for the Aacci program. I have to sleep by 9:30, so I start getting a headache.
आपको रिमूव कर दिया मैंने.
हाँ, प्रशांत को बोलना
इन्होंने
पड़ेगा.
आप संदीप फोन किया.
एक्सेलेंट प्रोग्राम, लेकिन मैं नहीं आ सकती है रात की प्रोग्राम के लिए. इट्स बैड. रियली गेटिंग अ हेडेक. वो आजकल मैं बिल्कुल 9 o'clock आई एम इन बेड, तो इट बिकम्स रियली बैड. अभी गीता पाटिल लग गई मेरे पीछे to start coming for night. Himachal, I have to tell them nothing doing. I got a bad headache. I'm not going to do it again. अभी कल समीर दलवाई का है ना रात को, आईपी विमेन वाला. I've told him I'll stay for the first half an hour and then go.
Daily it becomes hectic.
And yesterday was my husband's birthday party. Today this, then tomorrow Samir Dalwai, and then Saturday my brother and sister are coming from Bombay to celebrate my husband's birthday. So again Saturday night, so I have to now take it easy. प्रशांत कुठे गेला?
प्रशांतला एक मिनिट फोन करतो सर.
But on the whole excellent गया. टाइमिंग भी रखा, एक्टिविटीज भी अच्छी हुई. बट लिसन के कैसे नहीं आए संदीप? लिसन के खाली 2 लोग थे.
एक 20-15
नहीं नहीं
दिवस
है काफी थे, लेकिन उन्होंने बोला नहीं है.
अच्छा, ओके.
शेवटी लवकर गेले होते मला वाटतं.
अच्छा,
निष्ठा नाही दिसली.
listen का collaboration है ना, where to do in those various centers. Sandeep, I want you to take a meeting now with those 5 people we identified ना.
Yes, yes.
म्हणजे आशा बेनकप्पा from Bangalore, Madhu Rathori from Jaipur, Lucknow, I'll give you Shalini Avasthi, and NCR Latika and this. Let's not take more than 1 person per city just now.
सर लिंक ज्वाइन कीजिए मैम को, थोड़ा 5 मिनट बोलना था.
उसका ईबी मीटिंग चल रहा है पहले लोग.
अच्छा उसका ईबी में जाने दो फिर. लेकिन
ही इज कमिंग 1 मिनट.
तो एक काम मेरा खत्म हुआ.
मेजर काम हुआ.
लिस्टिंग लिस्टिंग
दिस वाज लाइक द लॉन्च ऑफ आकी वीक, तो मेजर काम था. You all 3 do such a wonderful job कि मेरे को कुछ ज्यादा करना नहीं पड़ता है. लेकिन अभी मेरे आई हैव टू रिटायर. ना ये ऐसा रात रात को अभी नहीं जमता है. वेरी स्ट्रेनियस. और वो दोपहर को भी, अभी उसका 3 to 5 है वो काउंसलिंग सेशन गीता का. मैंने बोला मैं हाफ एन आवर आ जाऊंगी 3 to 3:30. मैं तो 5 बजे तक नहीं रुकने वाली. तो समीर को ही वही बोला है. आई टोल्ड एवरीबडी नाउ आई विल कम फॉर द फर्स्ट हाफ आवर. आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू सिट थ्रू द होल प्रोग्राम. अभी आकी में आ गई ना, अभी सबको दे गो आफ्टर मी अगेन. बीच में पूरा विड्रॉ किया था, वो अच्छा था.
But people prefer this time, madam.
No, it's okay. But I don't want to come. You all are there. No, I don't have to come.
Yes, TOT big programs only. At
Yeah.
least such activities.
I'm not, but so Aki के लिए I'm keeping time. But अभी AHA IIP बहुत हो गया. I'll only come first. If I come, I'll come for the first half hour. Because नहीं तो बहुत बढ़ जाता है.
डिफिकल्ट रहता है मैडम. और कंटिन्यूअसली अभी तो डेली कुछ ना कुछ मीटिंग ऐसा चालू रहता है.
I know. And it's okay when you're 40s and 50s, yeah, not after 70. You have to understand age may not be just a number. You have to understand your limitations and not continue. At least my limitation. My eyes are hurting, continuously screen देख के.
ना होता है. सही हो. Just think प्रशांत joy.
हाँ. Prashant, sorry, we have pushed you out of your EB.
No,
Just
no.
wanted to thank everybody. It was an
Oh,
excellent program. well
he
conducted.
feel happy to come out from there.
No, it went well.
Very
Actually
well.
went well.
Very well.
And only thing was time constraint. I mean, we have to make it still more crisper.
Yeah. We'll have to
The
make.
activities won't happen then.
Yeah. I mean, activity, see, that's why I have given only 5 minutes to Kahoot. Otherwise, it is a 10 minutes job and not reveal the answers also.
Yeah.
But then,
Now
ये
let's
तो
hope
बीच में
that
मैंने भी
people do
कट शॉट
this.
किया ग्रुप डिस्कशन को इसलिए तो कट शॉट किया मैंने भी बाद में
हाँ।
कि बहुत हो गया
नहीं, मुझे ऐसा याद रहा था कि हमने ये बोला था हम ग्रुप डिस्कशन नहीं करेंगे, इसलिए मैं
नहीं करेंगे
हाँ,
एब्सोल्युटली यस
हमने
एब्सोल्युटली
ये डिस्कस किया था ना कि हम नहीं करेंगे ग्रुप डिस्कशन.
नहीं करेंगे नहीं करेंगे वी जस्ट एक्सप्लेन देते हैं इस पे ग्रुप डिस्कशन कर सकते हैं करके छोड़ देंगे बराबर
वो सिनेरियो जो मुझे क्या लगा वो ये हुआ सिनेरियो जो मैंने कल डाला था ना मैसेज में कि ग्रुप डिस्कशन आखिरी में सिर्फ वो ये ऐसा डिस्कशन हो सकता है और इस टाइप के
हाँ
क्वेश्चन दे
करके
दो
छोड़ देना है
हाँ ऐसा
एब्सोल्युटली
ग्रुप डिस्कशन
मतलब
के बारे में बोलना है फिर ग्रुप डिस्कशन नहीं था उसके बारे में बोलना था.
हाँ, मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ, पर एक्चुअली हुआ क्या कि उस टाइम पे सामने से मुझे वहां से भी बुला रहे थे.
My
तो
God.
2 चीजें मेरे लिए
नहीं,
फोन आ रहा
Must have
था.
been very tough.
नहीं अभी 2 सेकंड में आप नहीं करते तो मैं वो रोल प्ले ओरली बता के मैं चालू करने वाला था थोड़ा तो भी हो गया था आपने एक सिनेरियो
नहीं, वहां पे बवाल चल रही है इसी में थोड़ी सी अभी,
क्या हो रहा
इसलिए
है?
वही सब गाइडलाइंस का कुछ चल रहा है. मैं अब तो इसी में हूँ, अभी देखा नहीं मैंने.
अच्छा जा यू गो बैक.
नहीं, कोई बात नहीं. पर
Abhi, I think Sandeep, we can do more and more in Pune now because we
Yes.
have 2 listen centers or
whole
Delhi
thing
NCR.
with
तो
Krishna, he was planning last week only, but
हाँ.
then I did not get feedback. What I find with listen is
हाँ.
the bosses are telling, Tarun and Krishna are telling,
हाँ.
but ground the work is not happening that much.
अच्छा.
I'm not getting that feedback. So we have to approach them or whether the flyer was done, everything. So
अच्छा.
that push is slightly needed. I'll again speak with Krishna Veer one time.
See, I'm this Nishta, no? She's quite active. She comes every Wednesday to Jahangir
What
Hospital.
I found is she knows, but she doesn't complete the communication loop. She doesn't. We have to go again. What happened? What happened?
Okay,
So
I'll be a
she's
little
taken some
strict with her.
responsibility. Now she has to finish it.
You tell me what are the problems. Every Wednesday she comes to meet me.
Okay.
She's there for 1 hour in the Zentangle thing. So
When
you
we
give me the
speak
list
to
of
them,
whatever you have. I'll make a conference call when she's there with you. So then you can tell her directly.
earlier Ahab was there. He left it.
Huh.
That show he was not at all aware. So I thought that they would do the Zoom session. They will do the coordination.
Okay.
But that was not properly done.
Then
So
let's have another Zoom meeting with them and say that
with
we
I
have done our job of making an excellent module and TOT, but we cannot do the groundwork of organizing programs. That is entirely their job.
yes, yes. Especially when
They
other
can spend
cities,
time
the
on that.
people will come now. At least we are connected with them somehow.
Correct.
It should not happen that when this Dr. Venkappa or others go at there, they shouldn't face these problems.
Yeah.
We
that
should
is
have that first before connecting them to each other.
correct. So we tell them that they must be more proficient and more efficient when they call in other centers. Because here you and I are there. In other centers, we don't have anybody.
Yes, yes.
I think that
Sunita will
what we
take
can
over.
plan. And 2 things what we can take keep this thing. One thing is the what are the different schemes and that what one slide should be there because people will definitely going to ask that.
सर
मैंने
वैसे
वो
frankly कोई schemes नहीं है.
है
नहीं
मैंने
ज्यादा यानी
मैडम
है
मैंने
बट वहाँ
ने
बहुत
डाला है
करप्शन है यानी इट्स नॉट इजी फॉर एग्जाम्पल आई टेल यू सिंपल ये जो लर्निंग डिफिकल्टी या ADHD का जो सर्टिफिकेट होता है ना सो नाउ लाइक आई एम गिविंग यू द एग्जांपल इन पुणे द गवर्नमेंट स्कूल्स एंड SSC बोर्ड दे हैव टू गो टू ओनली ससून
Yes.
और वहाँ इतनी लंबी लाइन रहती है एंड दे टेक इट सो लेट एंड दे डोंट गिव अ डिटेल्ड रिपोर्ट एट ऑल एंड इफ दे गो टू अ प्राइवेट सेंटर दे हैव